Councillor Barker. Excuse me, Councillor Barker.
I endorse the comments made by Councillor Bevan. I would come at it from another particular point of view. This is a public entity. We expend public money. This has been involved in substantial sums of public money. This is ratepayer money. This is not ours, ratepayer money. And I believe that the ratepayers and the public are entitled to see inside, that the light gets in. I have a disquiet that the non-disclosure will send a message. I believe our regional council and HBRIC should be open and transparent, and that if it's to be closed, there has to be a compelling reason for it to be closed. And I've yet to hear the compelling argument. The argument is that there is someone, an entity in here with whom we have a commercial arrangement. Well, that could be, a bracket could be put around that, and that could be protected. We are not in a commercial operation. Quite often things are seen as being commercially sensitive. Our dam is not competing with any other dam. We're not in a competitive open market. This is a one-off. There's no other competitors here. There's no reason for us to be shy of public scrutiny. I think that this council needs to have a slight change in attitude, and it needs to be as open and as transparent with the public as it can be. Had I have heard an argument which is compelling for this to be in public excluded, I would support it. There is another paper in here which is for public excluded. I will support that because the argument is compelling. No question about it. There's another one in here which is for public excluded. I will support that too because the argument is compelling. But this one here, I'm not convinced. And I have to say that I'm going to vote against this. I think this is wrong.
We've had 3 against. Any new speaker for? You wish to exercise your...
Mr Chairman, I will exercise.
Are you speaking for it?
No, I'm waiting for the 4 and then I'm going to go speak against as well.
No, we've had 3 against. We've had 3 against. We've had all that discussion. So anyone in favour, and then we'll put the motion.
It's not my right of reply. I don't have a right of reply. I was the seconder, and therefore I now held my position on this. But I will speak in favour of the motion and speaking to the process of it, which is what we're talking about. And that is, it places us in a position where we can question some commercially sensitive information, which we would not be able to gain answers from if we were in public. We need to get a good understanding of this, and I believe for us to actually be able to exercise our position of governance on this, we need to be able to have the confidence of the board that they can answer the questions that we ask with the assurance that we are not going to repeat it outside that forum until it is appropriate to release that information. Therefore, I'm speaking in favour of being able to have a clear and frank discussion by being in public excluded.
I too will also speak in favour on the basis that we are part of a representative organisation, so like it or not, colleagues, the weight of expectation of making the right decisions falls on your shoulders through decisions that were made by our population last year, and you've got to front up and ask your questions and make your decisions accordingly at the end. So I think to move into public excluded is the obvious step here. Individually, you have a right to vote against it, that's fine. But let's get to the vote. Do you wish to sum up, Councillor Hewitt?
Thank you. We've heard some varied discussions here for and against. I have some concerns with regard to Councillor Bevan saying everyone knows that we're discussing forecasting today, and I'd question where everyone's got this information from, this public excluded document. I also have concerns that Councillor Belford has a need to be seeing the public questioning the positions of councillors. We're heading into a due diligence process, and I'd like the opportunity to be guided by the people who are reporting to us today, and if they are giving us the information that they feel they'd like some public excluded time, well, I'll be guided on that. We've heard from our Chief Executive that that there will be a summary that will be released of our discussions in due course, and I think that's quite adequate at this point in time. I agree with Councillor Barker that sunlight is the best disinfectant, and I'm sure that the outcome of our discussions will show that. But as elected representatives here today, I certainly once again welcome the opportunity to go into these discussions, and can assure you that we'll be bringing the information to the public in due course.
Point of order, Chair. Point of order. Councillor Hewitt has questioned what I said before. I want to read from HBRIC's own public report to us, which says, the date of financial close is now expected to be by the end of the first quarter 2015 calendar year. The financial implications of this extension and other project requirements have been outlined in a separate budget forecast, which is to be considered in a publicly excluded session. It's very clear what the discussion is going to be about.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. I'm going to put the motion. All those
Before you do, I want to register that you denied me a right to speak on this issue.
It's fine. I'll put the motion. All those in favour, raise your hand. And against. Thank you. Right, two other items which we'll deal with now, whether we go into, which is item 21, 22. If people still feel the need to do it separately, do so. But is someone happy to move both? I heard an indication from Councillor Barker.
I'm happy to move item 21.
21, you want to do them separately? Okay. Someone happy to second that? Discussion. Put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. 22. Thank you, sir. Seconded for that. Councillor Bevan again. Further discussion. Put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Thank you. So we're now moving into public excluded. Thank you, everyone.